Hey guys, what up? Steven here talking some Kyzir White today. First of all, I'm going to get this right out of the gate. He's not been great in coverage. He has been picked on a little bit by Brady and Breeze, but who hasn't that happened? So I'm going to get that out of the way. I'm not saying he's a perfect player by any means, but he makes up for a lot of his deficiencies because he doesn't miss tackles and because he's always flying around. His effort through 4 starts has been fantastic. He really makes plays that his other teammates are not making. Kenneth Murray is a great athlete and probably faster than Kyzir White, but Kyzir right now is winning with effort and he's winning with technique. I'm excited to see where this goes. And we have to remember that he's playing a new position, right? He used to be the Sam and auto roll, more of a setting the edge kind of player, and that's kind of changed for him now. And we also have to remember that he missed a lot of time to injury, and really this is the first time that his legs are under him. And I think personally that he's really close to breaking out in a big way. I'm really excited about the way that he gets to the football, and just like I mentioned, his effort. He's always flying around, and he's come really close to getting a few turnovers for this team. I'm going to show those plays, but the turnovers are going to start coming in bunches for him. I felt the same way about Nasir Adderley, and we saw that in the Saints game where he almost had a pick six. So Kyzir White is really close to breaking out in a big way, and we're going to talk about why I feel that way right now. So this play, he's going to drop into coverage over the right side, over the right hash by the numbers, and the Saints run basically a double in route with Traquan Smith and Emmanuel Sanders. Now, Michael Davis is going to get beat. He's going to let someone come right across his face, and then Nasir Adderley is going to miss a tackle on Emmanuel Sanders. So you see that play right there. You would love for Adderley to have a good clean break on the ball, or Michael Davis be able to make a play. But look who comes and saves the day, and that's Emmanuel Sanders. And like I mentioned, he kind of is the cleanup crew, like the help man. I talked about Forrest Lamp last week about being the guy who's kind of looking for work constantly and helping his teammates out. That's Kyzir White on defense, and he makes up for deficiencies because of his effort. Like this play is going to Emmanuel Sanders, and this should not be a Kyzir White tackle, but that's what it ends up being. So just great effort by him, run to the ball, and makes a good hit on Emmanuel Sanders as well. Excuse me. So here he's going to line up over the left guard. And then where he's improved a lot, like I mentioned, is just his tenacity and the way he attacks the ball. Like this is a play over to the right guard. This is the opposite side of Kyzir White. He's doing his job and setting the edge and making sure that there's no cutback lane, right? But then you watch him just, go through the pile and ultimately make the tackle. That's all effort for Kyzir White. That's not athleticism. That's not technique. That is effort. And that's why, I've loved what I've seen so far of Kyzir White. This next one, I tweeted this blitz out, but I wanted to break it down here and show why there are so many moving parts. So Kyzir White, the first thing he's going to do is come off the edge, and then Emeka Egbule, I'm pretty sure I'm saying that right, is going to come on a delayed blitz. So, they're in a 2 deep look right now, but this is a man cover 2. And it's weird because it ends up with being Brandon Faison, who's the corner, and then Nasir Adderley are going to kind of shift over, and they're going to be the 2. Rayshawn Jenkins is responsible for Latavius Murray. And so Kyzir does 2 things. First, he shows like he's going to take the back, which makes it so that Drew Brees doesn't throw it to him, which helps Rayshawn Jenkins out. I don't know if that's by design or not. I'm going to say not. I'm going to say that Kyzir just makes a really smart play. And then he's going to come hit the quarterback. And, this pays off, right? He hits home, he gets a pressure, he gets credited with a quarterback hit. And it's just a really incredible play. So going to break it down. So right here, you see the man principles, right? Kenneth Murray is going to be responsible for Alvin Kamara. No one really gets Jared Cook. That's the one problem here. I think this is, kind of a breakdown, but you see Michael Davis on, I want to say that's Traquan Smith up there, and then Desmond King is responsible for someone down there. So one little part right there. You see man underneath. You see Rayshawn Jenkins now going towards Latavius Murray. And look at Kyzir White. I'm trying to point, but you can't see me point. So Kyzir White goes towards the back, and then he's going to come towards the quarterback as well, and just make his presence felt with the quarterback hit on Breeze. So A very complicated blitz call. I mentioned Emeka Egbule coming on the delay. Unfortunately, it just, it was a little too slow there. Against maybe someone who's not so quick release like Breeze. Maybe this hits home for Egbule too, but so right now you can see the man principles, right? You see Adderley over the top. He needs to come down over Jared Cook, because right now, if Breeze looks at Jared Cook, this is an easy first down. So Nasir Adderley kind of laps in coverage there, and that's kind of why I think that they're not blitzing a whole lot. Just because the secondary is so young outside of Casey Hayward, and he went out of this game. He's not in right now. This is Brandon Faison's in. Michael Davis is young, Adderley's young, Rayshawn Jenkins is young. So that's just kind of why I feel like they're not blitzing a whole lot, because it does work. They do get home a lot, which I'll talk about later on in the week. But the secondary is just not playing at a level where I feel like they're comfortable putting them on islands. This particular play, it works out. Michael Davis, he makes a great tackle here. And, we hadn't seen that out of him in the past. In the past, that probably ends up a first down. This is on third down. And so great play by Kyzir White, making Breeze think that he's going to take the running back, and then comes and hits him. And then great play by Davis. But like I mentioned, if he throws this to Jared Cook, this is an easy first down. So a little breakdown on the blitz right there for you guys. Now to the Tampa Bay, kind of moving on. Here he's the one who just shifted back. This is 3 linebacker sets. So when they go 3 linebackers, Kyzir White shifts back to his salmon auto roll. So something to keep an eye on there. That's when Denzel Perryman comes in the game. But I mentioned just his overall effort, right? Look at him run through these plays and ultimately be the one who makes the tackle. Rewind it here again. So if you can see the mouse right here, that's him. He's going to come from the right tackle all the way over, sift through, a lot of just, gunk and clutter and things like that. And he's the one who scrapes and scrapes and scrapes. And then he's the one who makes the play, finishes off Ronald Jones in this instance. So again, just his effort has been so good this season, and it's been a pleasure to watch. This one, I believe, he's going to be isolated in coverage. This has just been a breath of fresh air. We've been so used to Chargers linebackers and safeties miss these kinds of tackles. Credit to Michael Davis too on this one. He makes a really good play, but Kyzir White is ultimately responsible for this running back, and makes a good tackle, good play on the ball as well. So a nice thing to see on defense. Michael Davis has improved a lot as a tackler. This game, obviously he gave it that 1 touchdown, but for the most part, he's been pretty good. Now, excuse me, getting a little excited. Throat's getting a little dry. It happens. So this is the one that everybody kind of was talking about. This is when he's isolated. Oh, wait, getting a little early. This is not the one that I was thinking of. So this one was called for, the head-to-head, the illegal contact head-to-head. And I just want to kind of talk about this for a second, because this just shows Kyzir White's awareness, right? He is responsible for Gronk right now. Kenneth Murray is responsible for, I don't know if that wasn't Ungumbawale. I think that was Kenyon Barner, right? Yeah, Kenyon Barner. Kenneth Murray is responsible for Barner, and White is responsible for Gronk in this instance. But White sees this play kind of happening, and he makes a great play on the ball. I understand why they called this way. I disagree with it, because I felt like he leads with his shoulder. I feel like this is good defense, but I just wanted to show it regardless, because it kind of shows his awareness and where he's at as a player. One-on-one in coverage, he's not super there right now, which is surprising considering he's a safety. But in terms of helping his teammates and making plays off of the ball, he's doing a fantastic job, and that's highlighted here. I wish that it was a hell of a hit, but I wish that it would have been a legal hit, because that was third down. Now, I want to say this is the Gronk. Yeah. So this is man-to-man coverage. Everybody's kind of asking for that to happen more often. And this happened right here. He's isolated against Gronk, one-on-one coverage. Normally, I would like the odds in this kind of instance, especially because Gronk is kind of washed. But the one thing that Gronk does better than any tight end still to this day is make contested catches. And, this is just Gronk being stronger than Kyzir White. That's as flat out as it be. You cannot play this ball any better. Look at that coverage. They're right next to each other. And, this is kind of me saying, like, this is one of the plays where I feel like he's so close to breaking out and so close to getting these turnovers for this team. But it just didn't work out on this play. And unfortunately, that's Gronk, that's Brady. I'll live with that because Kyzir's in perfect position. You can't play this ball any better than what Kyzir is doing right now. So, I mean, when you look at this play right now, you think it's an interception, right? And that's what I thought live watching the game. I was like, yeah, it's interception. Let's go. Unfortunately, didn't work out on that play, but so close to making a big play for the defense. This is another big play, almost big play for the defense. So I want you to watch where Kyzir ends up here. Wait, this is wrong. Excuse me. I'm jumping the gun again. But again, making plays in space, not getting beat by linebackers, kind of shifting through some things. Mike Davis obviously falls down. But that's just a great play by Kyzir White. That's textbook jump on the ball, textbook tackling. Fantastic job by Kyzir in space, which has been, such a big weakness for the Chargers defense in the past. This is the potential big play that I was talking about. So this play is going to go to Curtis Samuel. He's the one in the slot right now, and he's going to come all the way across. And Kyzir White's going to go to the flat on the opposite side. So again, just his effort making up for some teammates' efficiencies. That's what we see out of Kyzir White right here. So he's the one who has the running back, Mike Davis. He's on the 30-yard line right now. And just watch what Kyzir ends up doing, playing assignment sound football, doing his job right. But Curtis Samuel beats Chris Harris, and then he beats Nasir Adderley, who takes a bad angle. And then he makes Kenneth Murray miss, and look who comes and cleans up this play, Kyzir White. So again, the effort from Kyzir White has been fantastic. And again, this was inches away from a turnover. And a lot of people gave Anthony Lynn slack for him challenging this. I can't remember if I clipped it in a way that you could see this, but Kyzir White is pretty freaking convinced that this was a turnover. I was convinced that it was a turnover live. Again, it was just inches away. So I don't hate that Anthony Lynn challenged this, but Kyzir, man, it's the effort. It's the going for the ball. He's so close to breaking out. And I feel like the turnover is going to come in bunches relatively soon here. So, yeah. So this is another play that I tweeted. This is the all hats to the ball. Right now, Kyzir White is not even in the screen, right? You see Kenneth Murray, Denzel Perryman, Rayshawn Jenkins, and then Chris Harris over the top. You don't see Kyzir White because somebody motioned out, and Kyzir White is now, out of the picture. And, great job by Uchenna Nwosu here, cutting across the face of the tight end and making this play. And Tyler pointed this out, but Denzel Perryman does a fantastic job of just blowing up this tight end. Just a fantastic job of finishing that tight end off, or fullback, excuse me. So, this play really is a fantastic play by everybody involved. And so Mike Davis bounces this play, makes Uchenna Nwosu miss, makes Chris Harris miss, 2 missed tackles, right? And there's Kyzir White now. First time you see him coming across the screen. And look at Kyzir just run to the ball. And him and Denzel Perryman are ultimately the ones that make this play. And then look at this picture. This is just, oh man, it's so good. You see 9 white hats near the ball. I love that. When you're playing defense, the first thing you learn from all your coaches is that you got to run to the ball. Casey Hayward is even there. You can count 10 if you want to count Casey. I don't, but he's not that close. But you see 9 guys around the ball. And, an underrated aspect of this play is Linval Joseph. Look at him taking off that double team. Uchenna does a great job. Jerry Tillery taking on a double team. Rayshawn Jenkins does an okay job. But look at Linval Joseph here, the ageless wonder just motoring down. But look at this picture. This is so good, and I love it. And, this just kind of made my day. Shout out to Kyzir White for that effort again. Just a fantastic job from the defense here. Now, another play right here that was very close to causing a turnover here. Kyzir White, they're coming, you guys. These turnovers, they're coming. And this is another instance in which it's just the effort. and he's so good at sifting through, the traffic of the offensive line and then coming out on the opposite end and making a play. Like it's just wild to me. He doesn't take on blockers all that often, but he just maneuvers his way through them and just makes good plays. Like it's just so fantastic to see. But look at this play. Isaac Rochelle making a good play on the ball as well. Shout out to Isaac. Michael Peterson talked with me about, Rochelle's not great against the pass, but he makes a lot of plays in the run game. And this is another instance. But, Kyzir White, he is scraping and hitting that ball, and eventually those turnovers are going to come. I've said that about 4 or 5 times now. Just a fantastic job by Kyzir White. Now, this is the last one I'm going to talk about here. And, he's been getting railed on for pass coverage situations, but, if he's not in man-to-man, when he's off the ball, he's showing off some safety skills still. And, that showed here. That's really close to an interception, right? So he's improving in the man-to-man situations, like I showed in the Gronk, the big play to Gronk. But when he's off the ball and he can break, he's a former safety, right? And these interceptions are going to start happening. These fumbles are going to start happening, and Kyzir White is going to be in for a big second half to the season, I think. So that'll do it for the Kyzir White breakdown. Hopefully you guys learned something. If you did, please leave a comment or like on the Patreon post, tweet me, whatever you guys want. Really excited for Kyzir White's potential and really excited to watch him continue to grow. Kyzir White, man, big plays are coming.